Okay. Let me get it set right. I'm going to let it be quiet so I can see it when I go cut it. Hello there. Oh, goodness. I got you right in the yawn.
I mean, honestly.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm good. You know what you are now?
What?
My husband.
I am your husband. You know what you are now? My wife.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
So here we are back on a podcast.
We are back again. It is time. Long overdue.
It's long overdue. But I had decided that I was going to quit it.
Oh, okay.
But now I've unquit.
Good. That's a good thing to do since I never decided to quit.
Well, no, but I know. But I did it, doing a podcast, though, I think is hard. One, you have to have the time.
Right.
And when you're engaged, you don't have a lot of time.
Well, yeah, we had other things that were more pressing.
But two, I really feel like that when, and this is just me, we've never even said this out loud as a couple. This is the first time you're going to get, this is brand new information to you.
What?
That it's different when you're married than when you're engaged or dating. Because I feel like before on the podcast, everybody judged and tried to read into every word that we said. And it made me really self-conscious.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't feel that way at all.
Well, good for you.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah, but you're somebody, too, that's been in a public eye a whole lot more than I have. Like, I ain't in no public eye.
Right.
So then people listening at me, and then you get the mean people who make fun.
Really?
Yeah, I never let you read comments.
Oh, yeah, I don't even... Okay.
You know who they made fun of, though?
Who?
Me.
Really?
Because the way I talk. Oh, that's brand new information.
Oh.
Or, you would have stuff like, nobody cares what you say. But then let me tell you. I became obsessed with two podcasters out of England. James and Fuhad.
Mm-hmm.
They crack me up.
They are funny.
They are hilarious. And they just make me feel good because they're funny. Mm-hmm. And the stuff that they say, well, we won't discuss some of the stuff they say on this podcast because it's inappropriate, but it's still funny.
Yeah.
And my mom wouldn't be happy if she heard me talking about it. But it cracks me up. And they talked about once that they were just two broke dudes who cracked each other up and decided to do it because it was good for them. And that, after I heard them say that, I was like, I really enjoyed doing this with you.
Yeah. It was...
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
And
we had a lot of great support, too. So...
even if we... But, like, for me, even if we didn't...
Right.
I would like just doing it with you if only it was just a recording of us that we could look back on when we're old.
Well, I get that, too.
Look at what we talked about and how smart we thought we were and we're not. You like the way that my voice transitioned into grandma voice?
Yeah, it was kind of interesting.
Yeah. So, well, first, let's talk about the wedding.
Okay.
The wedding was the absolute best day of my life.
Mine also.
I have never been so excited. I cried so much. My dress, I was obsessed with. You were absolutely gorgeous. And I loved every single thing.
It was a beautiful day. It really was. Family, friends, dress, tux, all of it. Mm-hmm. It was really something special. And thank you for those who were out, supported, and sent messages and in attendance and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. It was so fun. And we did a DIY wedding. Didn't we?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean when I say
No.
DIY? You just said yeah, and you didn't know what I mean.
For real.
DIY, do it yourself.
Oh, of course. I would not have known that. Yeah, no. But if you said we did it,
my baby don't watch no HGTV. He
No,
didn't know what DIY was.
At all. I'm like, yeah.
You real handy. My baby's handy. He's a
Did
handy man.
Did you see DEI or DIY?
And you just agree. I love the way that you just committed and agreed.
Yeah, man.
That's a good man right there.
Thank you, boo.
So, yeah, we did everything ourselves. everything. I mean, we had help from friends.
Yeah.
And family, but like...
Help making things and, yeah.
But let me tell you too, and grooms. And parents of brides and grooms. At the ripe old age of... I decided I didn't care what anybody thought. And let me tell you, people had opinions. People had strong opinions as to what should be done at our wedding.
Really?
Girl, yes.
Oh, okay.
1, I refuse ever in life to pay more on a wedding than you would a down payment on a house.
Fair.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you have the money to do it and that's what you need to do to be happy, you do you. But for me, I could not live with myself. It's one of those things, like I have said before, if I was a trillionaire, just think of that amount of money. There is still no way that I personally could buy like a S-Series Mercedes. That's just crazy to spend that much on a car. That the second that you walk off, it depreciates.
Right.
Like, I'm just really weird. I grew up in a cost-effective household, and I just don't think blowing money on stuff like that is the right thing for myself to do. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd rather buy a house or go on 61 vacations. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But let me tell you, somebody told me, I kid you not, I told you this when it happened, but I'm still bitter about it.
What?
That if you invite somebody to your wedding, it is your job as the bride and groom to provide them with a sit-down dinner.
So you told me that?
Yes, I did tell you that.
Oh.
And you know what I say to that?
What?
Then don't come if you expect it. Because if you really think that coming and seeing me making the biggest commitment of my life in turn requires me to provide you with a sit-down dinner, you've lost your mind. We literally had our favorite foods. And I love that. That was one of my favorite things. We had pub subs. Mm-hmm. We had Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets. Mm-hmm. We had Reese cups. Mm-hmm. We had a trillion different kinds of cookies because our friends made cookies.
And the thing about it is, it was a collection of foods based off of our different personalities and based off of years of, just our lives, period. So it wasn't about trying to impress people or. It was just more like, okay, these are the things that we like. Come on and have a party. It was nice. It was relaxed. DJ, nice meal, people there. And that was it.
Nice snacks.
Yeah.
I loved that it was like girl dinner.
Right.
We had charcuterie. Mm-hmm. We had chips and salsa.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had Reese cups.
So
full size.
Yeah, so for us, I mean,
because they do taste different.
Yeah. And so it was great. It was great. Like I said, and I would never bash someone else's wedding and how much they spent on their wedding and so on and so forth. That's not at all. It's just, this is what fits Jeff and Kristie.
Right.
Hearts, the end.
Right. And if you want to spend $100,000 on your wedding, good for you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it will be beautiful and perfect and wonderful. Then spend $100,000. If you want to spend $50 and go to the Justice of the Peace, spend $50.
Right.
Like, it was important to me to have a good dress, the dress that I wanted.
Yeah.
Like, that was my thing. I wanted to feel beautiful for you that day.
Well, you were absolutely beautiful. And it was wonderful.
Oh, you were so handsome.
Thank you.
I cried a lot.
Yeah, you did.
And we laughed a lot, though, even in the ceremony, because our pastor was hilarious. Mm-hmm. But I was also so excited I couldn't stand it. I thought I was going to jet down that aisle.
I love that guy. He was great.
Kevin? Yeah, he's awesome.
The
Kevin
man.
Millfield. He's hilarious. That's one of my best friends. 20 years ago, me and Jacqueline became friends. 20 plus years ago now.
Yeah.
Jacqueline and I became friends because she was beautiful. When I tell you she's beautiful. Like, breathtaking. And then she was breathtaking. And I saw her in Chick-fil-A, and here I was, I weighed at that time probably 250 pounds. I'd had all these babies, and I was sweaty and hot and postpartum and sad. And
about to get me a meal.
And I was at Chick-fil-A. I was getting ready.
And about to get me a meal.
And then here walks in Jacqueline O'Leary, and I hated her because I'm a hateful person. I was like, look at this beautiful woman with these cute babies. She had these cute black-headed little boys, and she was carrying one on her hip and had on high heels. And I had on like Crocs and sweatpants. You know, probably had like baby puke on my shoulder, and I had hair at that time, so it was probably in a top knot, you know, like looking like who'd have thought it. And then let's fast forward and I thought, that's what I thought. I never met her. I didn't know her.
Right.
But she was so striking. So fast forward like 3 weeks later, like 3 months later, something like that. I'm going to volunteer in my son's classroom. And I think it was first grade. And they tell me to go into the center pod, and we're going to go in there, and like I'm going to go in there and, I don't know, cut squares or whatever.
Right.
So I go in there with my baby, because Bella was a baby. So I brought the baby to go cut paper or whatever she's going to assign me to do. And there's that hag from Chick-fil-A, the stunning, beautiful woman. And because there's something wrong with me, I tell her the story of how I hated her when I saw her in Chick-fil-A. I'm like, listen.
Did she start laughing?
She goes, wow. She goes, I'm sorry. She apologized. And I was like, it was completely me. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. But it was funny. And we've been connected at the hip ever since. And so she was one of my bridesmaids. She fell in love like 10 years ago with this guy, Kevin. And they got married 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah. And he is a pastor, and he married me and Jeff.
Yep. Great guy, great woman.
Full circle.
Full circle. They are wonderful people. We love them dearly.
It was so fun. That was such a fun day. Not the Chick-fil-A day, the wedding day.
Because that Chick-fil-A day was
That Chick-fil-A day was tragic. You want to talk about self-esteem in the toilet.
But what about since the wedding? We've done a lot of traveling. We've done a lot of different things.
We have.
It's been...
Well, first, we went to Tennessee for Thanksgiving. And that was great because we got to see my mommy. And you got to have a Tennessee Thanksgiving, which was new.
That was new. It was completely new. But I really enjoyed it.
I did too.
It was peaceful too.
Yeah, it is.
It was peaceful.
And then we had... then there was Christmas and candlelight. Candlelight and Christmas, I guess you should say. Yeah, candlelight and Christmas. And candlelight, well, you know, candlelight, that season of you, I just kind of see you as you go by.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to a lot of them.
Yeah.
But, and then what happened after Christmas?
And then after that, we come back and we start the spring semester, MLK concerts, excuse me, with my UCF choirs and Orlando Choral Society. And then
how many people was in MLK this year? It was huge.
I don't remember. It was huge, though. Over 800 singers, I know.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Then travel, start doing the gigs. And it's fun. Meeting a lot of different people, reconnecting with old ones. You know, it was just neat. It was really just neat just to see people. And, you know, going to conventions and hearing Gorgeous singing and hearing my choir singing at Carnegie Hall. And then, you know, it's just been a great year so far.
You went to what, Rhode Island?
Yeah.
And you went, I didn't go there. I went to New York. And you conducted at Carnegie in New York one time with your choirs. And I was there.
Then I went back.
Wait, I'm going in order.
Oh, I'm thinking. Okay, go ahead.
And then the next week was Dallas. God bless Texas. And in Dallas,
Mm-hmm.
True or false? Law, we met the Lord on that flight. Oh, I swore I was going to take an Uber home.
So extra.
I ain't extra. We were flying, and I swear we did. The man beside me, who was drunk as forever, first of all, on the plane, and it was Southwest.
Mm-hmm.
He smelled like a kegerator when he got on the plane, and it was like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
He had 2 beer while you were sleeping, and I'm in the middle. Jeff's asleep on one side, and I got drunk Dan on the right. And he wanted to talk. I was just trying to crochet. And he wanted to talk. What are you making? Shut up. But then he screamed. This man screamed. Not like went, oh no. Screamed like for his life when the plane like dropped and then went to its right. And then we walk out of the airport with our suitcases. And I ain't never experienced wind like that in my life. It took the suitcases off. You felt like you were walking, like pushing a wall, just trying to walk.
Yeah, that weather it was really, really windy. And it was like a lot of wind, so that caught us off guard. But, once we got there safely, everything was fine. And it was neat then, because I know you was relaxing in the hotel room. It was neat for me to catch up with some of my old choir conducting friends. And that was neat. And to hear some fabulous choirs that was just totally inspiring. So I always love that. That convention, what we're talking about is American Choir Directors Convention. So every year I gotta get re-inspired. But what was neat, I had my wife with me. So it was gorgeous to have her there just so she can be there. But then what was also neat, she actually worked the booth. And so, let me talk in the third person like you're not here. And it was actually before Chris actually worked the booth and then greet people. And so I thought that was really neat. So it was a great convention. And
Listen.
Then to come home.
You ain't got to be a music educator to love a music educator.
No, this is true. This is true.
And I think that you all do. I said you all. Probably not everybody. But the ones that I know and love, do fantastic work.
Yeah.
So, just because I can't do it.
So it was, it was nice.
Don't mean I don't want to help for the cause.
Yeah, this is true. But it was wonderful. Then to go ahead on and, come back, do some things at Disney, and then go back to New York. So it's been a very
what do we do at
busy. When I did Festival Disney, that was neat.
Oh yeah,
and then
I love it when you go to festival. Wait, you skimmed that too quick.
Okay, go ahead, clean up.
Yeah, he went to Festival Disney, and we got to go and stay at the motel. The resort. It's not a motel.
Thank you.
That face that you made when I said motel made me want to punch you in the neck.
Everyone would have saw this face. Oh my god, let me clean this up.
And Bella came with us.
Mm-hmm.
And we went out to dinner. It was just nice, that was a nice little calm, relaxing night in a time of chaos. You about to yawn?
It was. It was really neat. But it was also judging choirs and hearing some great choirs there also, and actually laughing and talking with John Sinclair. That was neat. Just catch up with people in the local choral community, conductors, and talking about what rep we're doing and all this kind of good stuff right here. So that was neat. So all of it was good. And then head back up to New York, and now we're almost done with the semester.
Then we went back to New York. He does not tell a story very good. I was going to say. Then we went back to New York, and we got to see a little kid who's a grown man now that my son went to middle school with and was at a play with, and he is performing in Hell's Kitchen on Broadway.
Yeah.
And he was so good, and I was so proud.
The kid is extremely talented. Extremely. And on top of that, one of my idols, and I got to make a post about this, oh my goodness, Tank, Solo Tank. So we're sitting in the show, and this guy, he walks on stage, and I kind of look sideways. That's like Tank. He starts singing where it was R&B singer Tank. I about lost my mind. So look up, Google Tank, R&B singer. Brother can sing. So to see him on Broadway singing was absolutely incredible.
I'd never heard of Tank.
Man, I grew up on Tank.
Well, you was asking me, it's like, is that Tank? I don't know who Tank is, Jeff.
And we walked outside.
I'm here to see Nikki.
On the billboard, it said Tank. I said, I knew it.
It said like DA quote Tank Tubbs or something like that.
Yeah, I said, there it is, Tank.
But we ate at Junior's. And then we came home and I had a fall apart.
A what?
Fall apart.
Okay, true. You did.
So for those of you that don't, I have an autoimmune disease and anxiety and stress can make it inflame.
You was walking around like a flame then.
And I got pretty bad off and ended up pretty much a little immobile.
Yeah. Remove away a little.
True. True. But like, and let me tell you this. These are things that I've thought about here lately as you can tell, I'm feeling better because I'm doing a podcast. And I haven't even taken one single nap.
No.
So, win. But I have to take, I'm very, very crazy about what I eat.
Mm-hmm.
And because I have to be. But it's just easier that way. Like, there's people, I used to love food. And I hate it now. Like, I hate it. I would rather, I want to have like the Steve Jobs thing on food as I do like his outfits. You know what I mean? Like, I would just rather eat the same thing every single day until I can't eat it anymore.
Right.
And then it's just, I don't have to worry about it. And then I know. But so the second trip to New York, because the first time we realized that like the things that I eat in New York are $77 more expensive. And I said, I can check 2 bags for free on Delta. So I'm going to check a bag of food.
Right.
Of like my snacks and drinks and stuff like that. So we did. Let me tell you what happens.
What happened?
Tell the good people what happened to my potato chips.
I don't remember what happened. They crunched? They got crushed? What?
The air went out the bag.
I didn't realize
It was like
that.
they were vacuum sealed. How does that happen?
Who knows?
And then if you put like hairspray in your suitcase and it sucks the air out of your chips. I mean, I know I'm not a scientist, but it seems dangerous to me.
What?
I mean, my chips got flat, sure. But the side that they were in, they should not have gotten flat.
Yeah.
It was like the air sucked them flat. Like the airplane experience, like the pressurization sucked the air out of the bags.
Right.
Of the chips. Blows my mind.
Yeah.
And I get out there, and not only did it suck the air out, they wasn't real sturdy chips to start off with. So it was Quest protein chips. Don't travel well. Love the Quest protein chips, but not for in your suitcase travel.
No.
But yeah, and I'll tell you what, anybody else out there have got like crazy food situations and then you have to travel and it almost makes you never want to leave the house because it's so hard to find something to eat and you just want to give up and then you feel bad because you feel like you're bringing everybody else down. So then you just go and then you sit and you look and you just order the same freaking thing everywhere you go. Just me.
Listen, you were fine. You did fine. I was very proud of you. You did well.
Oh, it's frustrating.
You did well.
It's frustrating.
But we made it back from New York, and that was great. And now we're back here. Now we're back home. And trying to finish out the semester.
Oh. Tell the good people what I have started doing. I'm giving him a clue right now.
You made a,
No, what is this called?
You made a Chick-fil-A,
No. What is the craft called?
What is the craft called? Let me tell y'all something. This girl is crocheting. She crochets everything.
I'm basically a grandmother.
And on top of it, she done got all her little girlfriends crocheting. Crocheting. So it's like, you walk and you see a bunch of women knitting. They just
It's
clap and stuff.
crocheting.
Crocheting. Okay, I said it wrong. I said knitting. Yeah.
Knitting is different.
Nobody cares. I'm just trying to tell you, it's crocheting.
People care.
But listen,
The crochet community cares.
yeah, sour crochet commit whatever. Yeah, that. But my whole point is she's really good at it. I mean, like,
Honestly, I really am.
and then oh goodness.
No, but like what I say is this. I have like crochet imposter syndrome.
She's really good at it.
Like I don't understand how
I
I'm good
even
at
know
it.
how to drive her to the store to get the stuff. That didn't make no sense, but I'm trying to joke. But that being said, I think it's really healthy for her also. You know, you should see here, you should listen to how her and her friends be talking about what they're going to make and I just can't stand it. I say whatever makes you happy.
It really does. It really, especially where I have been, I mean, I work from home, which has never, praise God I work from home, because if I didn't this past week, it would have been awful because my legs just said, nope.
Girl.
Nope. But I'm grateful so much for that. But at the same time, when you get to where you're stuck and you can't go anywhere, it messes up your brain.
Yeah.
And to be able to be into something to where like I can eat my food and then just go work on my scarf or my chicken or my sweater or my doll or my whatever, and then create something lovely, it makes you feel good.
It does. It does. And I see what it does for you, and that's what makes me happy. So if it makes you happy, it makes me happy. And that's the most important thing, that you're happy. So, okay, good.
You make me so happy.
You make me happy also, sweetie. We're back.
You know what's so fun?
What?
Looking at you and knowing you're my husband. And looking at your ring finger. I love it.
I'm your baby.
You are my baby. You're so good to me. Let me tell y'all, just a little fun fact. I strongly recommend marry your best friend that you want to do everything with. And then the person that when your legs are broke will take care of you and bring you Gatorades and force feed them to you because they're afraid that you're dehydrated. Can you tell that's been happening?
Your legs weren't broke, but yes, I've been.
Well, they felt like they wouldn't go.
I'm like, your legs. People, when did you break your legs? She
Oh
didn't
yeah,
break her
no,
legs.
they wasn't broken.
She did
Not
break her
literally
legs.
broken. Not literally broken. But like to have somebody that's so supportive and listen. You're pretty easy on the eyes.
Mm-hmm. It is absolutely mutual. Absolutely mutual.
Look at me.
I see we go at me.
I feel like that's a wasted wink.
I was like, good. I was like, what's she doing? Oh, she closed my eyes. Oh, wink. No. But yeah, it's been a beautiful ride so far.
It's always gonna be.
That's right. Absolutely.
I'd rather have terrible days with you than wonderful days alone.
I'd rather have bad times with you than good times with someone else. I'd rather be beside you in a storm than safe and warm by myself. I'd rather have hard times together than to ever have you apart. I'd rather have the one who holds my heart. Yeah, I remember that song.
Listen, can I tell you I thought I was original?
Listen, now that's Luther Vandross. I need to listen to that song again because I did it in the wrong key. But anyway, that's today's podcast. And we are back, but now we can't be Red and Green the podcast anymore.
What should our new name be?
That'll be coming up.
Redded Bliss.
The podcast.
Because we're wedded. And we're redded. What did you say?
You better stop it. You better stop it.
I'm sure that won't even... I wonder if that'll even be heard on it.
I got that high-pitched voice, it will.
I doubt it. Quit coughing.
Wow. Anyway, so until next
We're
time.
in love, can't you tell? Quit coughing.
Listen, when she act like that, I be like, okay, time to cut it off.
Oh, you better not be ugly.
Anyway, so until next time.
Red and green. No. Just until next time, I guess. You just
Until
gonna have to
next
shut it
time.
until we figure out a new exit.
For real.
How often are we going to do this? Once a week?
We'll let you guys know. But we're back once a week.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.